Hey everyone, it's Elisa from AK Educational Consulting. Thanks for joining me back here. If you remember, the last time I started taking us through the steps of problem solving, and the first thing we talked about in the last video was recognizing, identifying, and labeling our emotions, our feelings. So when we are in a conflict, we really need to first recognize and go within ourselves. What are we feeling? How has this made us feel? And so if you missed that video, go back and take a watch so you can get some great ideas for helping your kids to label their emotions. So today we're going to talk about identifying the source of the conflict. All right. So sometimes we know exactly what the source of the conflict is because it's happening and we're engaging with another person, but sometimes it's not as clear to us. So this is where we have to figure out how to solve the actual problem. So sometimes we need to go digging a little bit deeper into what is the actual problem. So this is how I'm feeling. What really caused that? Okay, and something to remember here is that anger is usually a secondary emotion. So when we are feeling anger, there's usually something underneath it. Jealousy, envy, there's a lot of different possibilities. But typically if we go beneath that anger, there's something else there. And that's what we need to dig into because that's how we really start to uncover, how am I really feeling? What really happened? What is the actual problem here? Okay, so I'm going to give you one example of sort of a little visual activity that you can do, which is problem solving baseball. So if you think about baseball, we have the pitcher pitching to home plate, and then we have first, second, third, back to home. Okay, so with problem solving baseball, if we're working with a child to problem solve, then they're going to pitch us the problem. Okay, so they're pitching us what it is. And as they're moving to first, they're going a little bit deeper. What is the problem? That's where we're really digging into how we feel, who made us feel that way, why did we feel that way, what is the actual problem? As we move to second, that's when we start thinking about potential solutions. What is out there on the plate? Not necessarily what are we going to do, but what are the possibilities? Okay. Then as we move to third, we can start to hone in on what is the course of action that I'm going to take? What do I think the best solution to this problem is? And then as we return back home, am I safe or am I out? Did that work? Did it not work? And what kids need to understand is that when we're problem solving, their first solution may not work out perfectly. It may completely blow up in their face, right? And that's okay. So then we start over again. Okay, did we identify the problem correctly? Do we need to just choose a different potential solution? So that home plate, am I safe or am I out, is a really important piece of this because they're going to learn that they're not always safe. And safe just means, hey, it worked out, problem solved. And it doesn't always work that way, right? In an ideal world, it would. But if they're out and it didn't work, like I said, we round the bases again. Okay, so hopefully this is a good visual that you can use with kids. And remember, we're helping kids, we're providing the scaffolding, especially at first and especially with younger kids, to work through this with us as an adult. And we want them to do the heavy lifting, but we need to be there to help them understand some of these pieces. Like it may not work out the first time. Maybe we didn't have the problem identified correctly. Maybe you're not really feeling anger, you're feeling um, lonely or left out. Okay, so they need us to provide that scaffolding for them. So I hope that you'll join me back here next time. We're going to talk a little bit about perspective and communication and how that plays into problem solving. So I will see you right back here next time.